Let's talk about his deployment of National Guard troops in cities, Washington, Chicago, now Portland. What's he doing?
Uh, well, basically, this is an attack on Democratic-controlled cities, most of them with black mayors, like Los Angeles and New York, other places, Washington, D.C. It's part of the fascist takeover. You federalize the state National Guard. He's using fake national emergency declarations. This is Congress's fault. They gave him all this wide open discretionary power to declare insurrection, to declare foreign invasion, to declare emergency powers without any criteria or standards. So this goes back a long way when Congress just abdicated its role. It doesn't want to do its job under the Constitution. Those are not executive powers. Those are congressional powers delegated without any restraints and accountability to any reckless president. And we've never had one more reckless. He's a egomaniacal, unstable, dangerous personality. He is set on the record, and we printed him in our book, on destroying America, on Donald Trump. He said that he knows more than experts in 15 different areas. He knows more about banks. He knows more about construction. He knows more about trade than anyone. This is a deranged megalomaniac person. He just said the other day before the UN, I've been right on everything. There's a very dangerous personality here.
And let's talk about ICE. The massive expansion of ICE will get more, its budget will now dwarf all other federal law enforcement agencies. And this planned building of huge detention centers all across the country.
They're not detention centers. They're concentration camps.
Concentration camps. Yes, you're right. And there, how is that mechanism going to be used? One assumes that that's not simply for undocumented people.
Well, it'll be used for what he's already starting. Like he kidnapped a tough graduate student because she wrote an op-ed criticism of him. So there are a lot of people in that category: citizen groups, labor groups, better government groups, reform groups, and he's getting away with it. And one reason, by the way, you might wonder, Chris, and your audience might wonder why people aren't suing for malicious prosecution, abuse of power, the way that they have successfully sued out of control police violence in cities around the country under tort law. It's because, with the help of the Supreme Court, they've made it very hard to sue federal employees who, even under contract, who basically lead the government sovereignty defense. So that's why the ICE agents feel that they're not going to be sued, because they come under that protective cloak, which the Supreme Court has been expanding. So that's what the concentration camps are for. And now, obviously, public opinion is turning against him. And that's where he's going to fail. He's losing ground, even significantly among Trump voters and independent voters who voted for him, because they're seeing the betrayal, even though there's been a delay in the impact because he delays the tariffs. But a whole bunch of them are going into effect October 1st. And they will see the price increases in necessities of life, kitchen table necessities, very shortly. So I expect that his polls are going to drop to 30%. And it's only at 30%. The Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer say that's when they can go after him. Well, that waits to be seen. What does it mean, go after him? There's only one remedy. It's called impeachment in the House, removal of the Senate. Now, people say impossible, GOP controls both. It's not at all. Here's why. When the GOP sees its polls plummeting for 2026, it's either them up for re-election and loss of the Congress, or Trump, who is not up for re-election? What do you think they're going to pick? What's the precedent? Let's go to Richard Nixon. He won 49 states in 1972. He was at 60% approval. Less than 2 years later, he resigned. Why? Because he was about to be impeached and removed from office. For what articles? Listen to this in comparison. Listen to the transgressions of Nixon that led to his ouster. One count of obstructing justice, and I think 2 counts of obstructing justice, and 1 article of defying a congressional subpoena. Well, Trump defined 125 congressional subpoenas in his first term alone. 125. Obstruction of justice, John Bolton said in his memoir, the former security assistant to Trump, whose Trump is going after, by the way. He's raided his home with FBI agents. He said, quote, obstruction of justice was a way of life, a daily way of life in the White House first term. So the Democrats have hundreds of more impeachable offenses, and they're not one-time events like Watergate. They are continually impeachable. He brags about it openly. He boasts about it. He indicts himself every day. And the Democrats on Capitol Hill are telling us, now is not the time for impeachment. Now is not the time. When is the time, Jamie Raskin? When is the time, Adam Schiff? When is the time, Schumer? When is the time, Jeffries? After he's prosecuted you with rump prosecutors for crimes and got you before a grand jury? Is that what you're waiting for? Have you ever seen a more craven, corrupt, cowardly party in American history, Chris?
No, and it's always, you look at Weimar or anywhere else, it's always a bankrupt liberalism that sows the seeds for fascism.
Well, you wrote the book on it, The Death of the Liberal Class, at which when I had you on my podcast radio show, I accused you of understatement. And it's much worse. For example, we're asking Jamie Raskin. He is now the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee. There's nothing stopping him from holding shadow hearings publicly with witnesses and media on impeachment, educating the public, getting them ready for impeachment if and when the Democrats take control of the House. Now, the House Democrats under Pelosi, they impeached Trump twice. Once on a Ukraine extortion type thing with Hunter Biden, not exactly a tabletop issue, kitchen table issue, and the other was on January 6th, insurrection. Now they have 24 serious impeachable offenses, many of which are criminal violations with jail terms, like the Anti-Deficiency Act, which prohibits presidents from not obeying appropriation fund orders by the Congress, which he violates every day. He's closing down AID, impeachable offense. Congress has authorized funds to keep it open. He's done the same thing with Education Department, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that protects people, and has returned $21 billion from corporate crooks, including from Wall Street. So what are they waiting for? The longer they wait, the more they're going to have to deal with the police terror state. This guy has no boundaries. He's a deranged, unstable personality. He's ignorant, monomaniacal. He knows more than everybody. And he's put entrenched yes people that can be the counterparts of Hermann Goring, Himmler, Ribbentrop, guys like Hespeth, Secretary of Defense. You can't wait for a war. They're pushing the country to war. And he'll put us into war to try to avoid impeachment and send U.S. troops. So we have retired military who despise Trump. They worked under him. They were Secretary of Defense. Remember Mathis, the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staffs, and his security advisor, John Kelly, all former generals, retired now. They have a network. What are they waiting for? They cannot be told to obey an illegal order under the Constitution. And a Trump war without congressional authorization is ipso facto an illegal order to every soldier, that they are under a legal requirement under the Nuremberg rules, international law, to disobey that illegal order and go fight an illegal war in some foreign land.